Hey, what's going on? Joe McCall here, the Dirt Flipper. On this video, I'm going to be walking through step by step how to wholesale vacant land. I've done a lot of videos about this before, but I thought it'd be good just to refresher, button up, teach it again. I love teaching this strategy because I'm seeing so many people doing really, really well. Flipping vacant land. That's all we're doing. We're wholesaling vacant land. It's just like wholesaling houses, but a lot easier. Not saying wholesaling houses is dead. A lot of people are wholesaling houses right now, doing very well. A lot of people are wholesaling vacant land and doing well as well. I just feel like it's a better, easier strategy for beginners. And it's when you compare it to the competition that you have with houses, it's just a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying you should stop wholesaling houses. I'm saying you should add or consider, think about it, adding in vacant land into your investment portfolio, into your strategies. If you're trying to just make piles of cash wholesaling, okay, wholesale land, houses, commercial buildings, multifamilies, whatever you want. You can wholesale couches, trailers. I have a friend who wholesales trailers. He buys them for super cheap, paints them, cleans them up, takes nicer pictures, and sells them on Facebook Marketplace and makes a ton of money doing that. So if you're doing that's piles of cash. If you're doing streams of cash and you want the cash flow, I would strongly encourage you to consider vacant land, selling vacant land on owner financing and get the cash flow from vacant land. It's easier, it's faster, it's more passive, and your ROI, your cash on cash return, your ratios are going to be much better with vacant land. Now, with vacant land, you don't get the tax write-offs and the depreciation that you do with houses, but I'm telling you, you can get your land free and clear faster. You get better cash flow. You don't have maintenance and repairs and management and all the typical landlord-tenant headaches and hassles. So vacant land is awesome for many, many reasons, and I'm going to teach you in this video. I'm hoping to go through maybe in an hour or less how to wholesale vacant land step by step. And I don't even have any slides prepared. I'm just going to be teaching from my heart, and I'm going to be answering any questions you guys are answering right now. I've got people on Zoom, people on YouTube and Facebook. So I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you guys have as I'm going through this, okay? I always want to start with where is the demand, okay? Where are people buying vacant land right now? The key to all of this, to make it work, is you want to follow the money. So if you see a bunch of property is being bought and sold in this area of the country and not in this area of the country, where should you focus your marketing maybe? You want to focus your marketing, your efforts on the part of the country where most of the activity is happening. And so one of the ways I like to do that is with a website called landwatch.com. Landwatch.com, and I'll share my screen with you in a second. That is going to show you where the most popular activity is. So like land.com is, or Landwatch is owned by the land.com company of websites, okay? And it's a family of a bunch of websites. Landwatch, Lands of America, land.com, Land and Farm, I think. But what it does is it's like the number one place where people go to buy and sell vacant land. And you can go here. Let me open up my screen and click search. And I have the whole United States here. And you can see the most popular states right now: Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, California, Southern California, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Well, I tell you what, that's a good place to start, isn't it? Now, I typically there's different strategies, okay? You can do small infill lots, or you can do larger recreational lots. Small infill lots are little quarter-acre lots where people may build a house someday. They're in subdivisions. There's already utilities there. And you can make very good money because there's a lot of that activity going on. Or you can target bigger recreational lots, maybe 5+ acres, where there is a lot of people will just go to buy land there to ride their four-wheelers, go hunting, go camping, and stuff like that. So you can do both. I used to only exclusively focus on larger recreational land, and I'll show you how to find that in a minute. We're working on a deal right now, which is crazy, in Florida, right in the center of Florida, in a very competitive county, where we might make, I don't even know, I'm hesitant to talk about this, because because we might make $75,000 to $100,000 profit on this one deal. We just got it under contract 2 days ago. And yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to jinx it. Not that it's going to get jinxed, but we're working on closing the deal right now, and then we're going to turn around and sell it. It's an amazing deal. We just found a motivated seller that was tired of the property, didn't want it anymore, wanted out, and we are helping him or her sell the deal. Okay, so, but it's pretty cool, right? In a very competitive market. Now, in Florida, most of the properties there are infill lots, little quarter-acre lots, but we found a bigger lot. These were 2 10-acre lots that we have under contract. We're going to buy them, close on them, and then turn around and sell them for a very nice, handsome, healthy profit, which is cool, right? Previously, my biggest land flip was a $45,000 assignment fee, but now we're looking at $100,000. Now, not promising anything because we did a lot of marketing. We've been doing this for a long time, so we put in a lot of work, and the deal may not even happen. It may fall through, but it's happening to people like me, other people I know. That's why I love this business. All right, so enough of that. Infill. Let's say we were looking for infill lots only. So what I might do on landwatch.com is go down here to custom acres, and I might say maximum 1 acre. Click add, and the number 1 state is not Texas anymore for obvious reasons. It's Florida. And if I click on Florida, scroll down, you can see the most popular regions here. Where most now these are just active listings. If I scroll down and I check right here under contract, I'm going to scroll down again because it pops me back up, and I click solds. So these are not solds from county records, or they're not solds from the MLS. These are just solds of properties that were marked as sold that were listed on the land.com websites. Okay, if I scroll down, you can see the most popular region is Southwest region. That's Fort Myers area, Lee County and Charlotte County, I believe. Central region, Central West region. Florida is exploding. You know, like you could just do a Google search on what states are people moving out of and moving into, and Texas and Florida are the 2 top states. Now, if you scroll down, you can see the most popular counties right here: Lee County, Charlotte County, Marion, Sarasota, Polk, Citrus, Brevard, and Collier. And I'll tell you, in one of those counties is this big one that we're doing where we're going to make about $100,000 profit on that, okay? Worst case, $50,000. But yeah, so it's a competitive county. And guess what? People are complaining, oh, it's too hard, it's too much competition. Okay, whatever. You're right. It doesn't work. So go do somewhere else. I'll just keep all of those big $100,000 profit deals for me because I like helping people. That's why I like doing this. So from here, you can see the most popular counties. And if you just clicked on Lee County, now I'm not saying you should go into Lee County because it is pretty competitive, and you've got a lot of these landowners in Lee County are getting a ton of mail from investors. But okay, whatever. We're still doing a lot of deals here. This is your competition, though. You have somebody selling a quarter-acre lot for $6,000. So if you get a lot under contract, that's your competition. You're going to have to sell your property for cheaper than theirs. But I've done a lot of YouTube videos about this, right? It just kind of depends on where the property is. But a lot of things are happening in Lee County. So let's take a look. Some of these counties we had here, I'm just going to X out of this. So now my filters are Florida. Let me uncheck that. Florida, 1 acre or less, available under contracts or solds. And sometimes I'll go in and I do custom price as well. I'll say, all right, show me everything less than $50,000. Now I just do $50,000 because I know infill lots, that's what I'm targeting. And now I see the most popular counties here again are Charlotte, Lee, Sarasota, Marion. So we're not trying to go after big, huge lots. We're not doing any subdividing. We're not doing anything to the property. In fact, we never do a survey even, and we rarely do perk tests. Sometimes on the bigger lots we do perk tests, but we don't do anything to the property except take pictures of it. That's it. Sometimes we close on it and then turn around and sell it. Sometimes we don't close on it first. We start as soon as we get it under contract, we find a buyer for it and we assign our contract to that buyer, or we'll do a same day double close. So there's just different ways to do it. Now, let's look at these counties. So Charlotte County, for example, once I see the most popular counties, I want to go into sites like Zillow and Redfin, and I want to see, all right, how many, I'm going to list the top 10 to 20 counties in whatever state I'm looking at. And I want to see which of these counties have the most solds in the last 90 days. A lot of people get tripped up where they get over-analysis paralysis. And they spend, hours or days trying to pick a county. You're not looking for just one county. I want you to pick 10 counties. Because when you pull lists of sellers to market to, a lot of these counties are not going to have that many people in it. So people get freaked out because they feel like they have to pick the one right county. If they miss the one right county, they're going to get it all wrong and they're going to waste all their money. No, I want you to get a list of 10 counties and you're going to go after all 10 counties. One of those counties is not going to be any good. You're not going to like it. You're not going to do any deals in it. But guess what? You've got 9 more counties to go into. So it's a numbers game. I want you to be really, really clear on that. If you don't understand what I'm saying, rewind the video, because so many people get tripped up on this, okay? You're not just picking one county. You're picking 5 to 10, 15 counties, okay? So at the most, 2 states, okay? And then in each of those states, pick a minimum of 5 counties, so you have a total of 10 counties. Do you understand? Do you understand? I'm harping on this because, again, I see so many people get tripped up on this and get worried that they've picked the wrong county or they're afraid to pick the wrong county. Stop it. Pick 10 counties. Okay, I think I've made my point. Let's look at, I like Redfin. You can do this in Zillow or Redfin. And our first county I want to look at, now I want you to get a pen and paper and write all of these top 10 or 20 counties down, okay? And we're going to type in first Charlotte County. Charlotte County, you got to spell it right. Florida, there it is, the first one. Let's see where this is. Yep, right by Fort Myers, okay? I'm going to turn it to map. Right there in the southern edge of Florida. A lot of activity there. I'm going to go look right here at solds last 3 months. And then home type, we're going to select land. Hot diggity dog. Look at that. 1,620 homes or properties sold in Charlotte County. So I'm going to get a pen and paper and write that down. Charlotte, 1,620. Cool? All right. What's the next county? Lee County. Lee County, Florida. 8,600? What? No, sometimes Redfin does this. You have to kind of redo your filters there. Holy Toledo. Lee County. 3080. Now you're saying there's homes there. Those are usually new home construction. Those are renderings or drawings. For some reason they show up there. If you wanted to, and you really wanted to nitpick this, you could say, all right, show me all the ones that sold for less than $100,000. And that'll drop it down, to 2676. Those are vacant lots. But look where all this activity is happening. Here's the deal. I get a lot of people that say, every seller that I market to tells me they want way too much for their property. No seller that I have ever talked to has ever accepted my lowball offers. There are no deals there. I say, really? Every seller says no, that my offers are ridiculous. Every seller says they've gotten 5 other offers from other investors for higher prices. There are no deals here. I say, really? Okay, let's look at the data. Write this down. Data, not drama. Data, not drama. I get annoyed with drama. I don't like drama. I've got enough of it at home. Not really, I don't. I have an awesome family. But I don't want any drama. Who does, right? It's annoying. So let's look at the data and just take a deep breath and relax a little bit. Really? There are no deals. No investors are buying properties for super cheap. Let's look at the most competitive county right now in Florida, and this is Lee County. Let's sort this by price, low to high. Look at this. Somebody's buying these things for $8,000. Somebody 2.5 months ago bought this 20.26 acre lot for $8,000. Somebody bought this one a month ago for $8,000. Somebody bought this for $8,000. Somebody bought this for $10,000. Somebody bought that for $10,000, $13,000. So I don't know, is this just a joke? Who bought these properties? for that cheap? Somebody is. And then look, somebody's buying these for $15,000, $16,000. Now, these are investor buying these. Some of them are just regular buyers buying them. But if you go to this, let's go right down to the middle of page 6. Look at this. People are selling these things for 32. They're buying them for 15, selling them for 30. Who's doing that? My students are doing this. The people who believe in data, not drama, are doing it. You just make a lot of offers. And guess what? You'll do a lot of deals. This business comes down to, it's really, really simple, guys. If you want to make money, you got to do deals, right? And if you want to do deals, you've got to make offers. If you want to make offers, you got to talk to sellers. If you want to talk to sellers, you've got to get leads. And if you want to get leads, you got to do marketing. This business comes down to 3 things: marketing, talking to sellers, and making offers. That's it. If you want to do deals, you got to do a lot of those 3 things. It just makes sense, doesn't it? When people give me these things, every seller I've talked to has said this, or every seller has rejected my offer. Every seller has gotten 20 pieces of mail from other investors. I ask them one question: how many offers have you made in the last week? And almost every time I hear this, it's 5, 10, none. I don't know, right? So stop it. If you have to make 100 offers to do one deal, guess what? You've got to make 100 offers. And if you make 200 offers, you probably do 2 deals. What would you rather do? Like do nothing and do 0 deals, or make 100 offers and do 1 deal? So make 100 offers. Stop your whining and start making offers. I wish I could emphasize this more. Just do me a favor. If you're watching this right now, even if it's later, make offers, make offers, make offers. That's the number one most important rule in real estate. It's not location. Location. It's make offers, make offers, make offers. And if you make offers, you'll get rich, you'll get rich, you'll get rich, and you make lots of money. And you'll stop whining and complaining. Make offers. If it takes 99 no's to get 1 yes, then the faster you get to the 99 no's, the faster you'll start making money. And it may be that you have to make 199 offers to get your first yes. And then the next offer you make is another yes. And then it averages out 2 offers accepted after, 200 offers made. So it's 1 out of 100, but that's just the nature of this business. That's why we can get big $100,000 profit deals, is because we do a lot of marketing and we make a lot of offers. We treat this like a business, not like a hobby. Good question. People are asking, what do you do with after you get the deal? I'll cover that. All right. I feel like I've made my point. So this is a good county. Somebody's buying those cheap properties for $8,000, $10,000, $15,000, and then turning around and selling them for $36,000. Somebody's doing it. The data doesn't lie. Let's go to page 9. Somebody's buying these properties, selling them for $68,000, $70,000, $74,000. These are solds. These are not actives. These are solds in the last 3 months. Some schmuck believed that, you know what? I'm going to listen to what Joe said. I'm going to buy this property for $30,000 and I'm going to sell it for $74,000. I don't know. Like people, you just got to believe that he can do it and you can make it happen. All right. So now you go through here and you write down your 10 counties and you just start going through Redfin and seeing which, let's look at Citrus County next. Oh, look at this. Land. Okay. Sold last 3 months. Under $100,000. 854 vacant lots sold in the last 3 months. I'm sorting this from low to high. Somebody's buying these things for $3,000, $3,300, $3,500, $4,500. So don't tell me no seller will accept your offers. Well, I don't know why I'm all fired up. Scroll down. Let's go to page 7. Somebody's buying those things for $4,000 or $5,000. Somebody's selling them for $22,000. What the heck? Here's the thing, guys. You've got to believe that this business works and that it will work for you. That's like my number one job. What drives me doing what I do, creating all these podcasts and videos and just teaching you and not holding back any secrets. This is how it works. You've got to believe that it works and that it will work for you. I mean, there's one thing in common that people have who have success in this business. You know what it is? It's not their good looks. It's not which race they are, whether they're minority or not. It doesn't matter if they're men or women. It Doesn't matter, whatever. Rich, old, young, poor, rich, old. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. What matters is the speed of implementation. They did a study looking at this huge sales organization, and they compared all of the salespeople there that made over a certain amount of money, like I think 100,000, and those that made under 30,000. This was a study from a long time ago. And they asked, what was the main differentiating factor between those that made a lot of money in this sales organization and those that made very little money? And it was none of the other things you might think it was, like college or degree or sex or good looks or young or old. It was one thing and one thing alone. It was the speed of implementation. When they learned something new, they just implemented it. They didn't question it. They didn't study it. They implemented it. They ready, fire, aim. All right? They didn't do ready, aim, ready, aim. Oh, I got some more questions. What if this happens? What if that happens? I got to have all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed. Ready, aim. No, they're ready, aim, ready, fire, aim types of people. They were quick to implement. When a new lead came in, they were quick to call that lead back. They were quick to follow up. They were quick to make the offer. They did not sit around at the water cooler just shooting the breeze with people. They were massive, imperfect action takers. That's what separates successful people in this business from people that struggle. I know I was a professional student for 3 years before I started doing deals because I was stuck in this analysis paralysis mode, asking questions after questions after questions. I felt like I had to understand steps 7 and 8 before I started doing steps 1 and 2. I had to understand everything. I had to know all of the steps. Like somebody's asking here, well, what do you do with the deal after you get it under contract? Don't worry about that yet. Do you have a deal under contract yet? It's a good question, but don't worry about it yet. Focus on the what next, not the what ifs. If you get stuck in the what if modes, you'll never go anywhere. The people who have the most success are the people that are massive action takers. In fact, they're massive imperfect action takers. And they're just like, all right, step 1, what is it? And I'm showing you step 1 right now. Pick 10 counties. Step 2, then what's next? We'll talk about that next. You're going to pull a list, right? Then what's step 3? You do step 3. Well, what about steps 5 and 7 and 8, Joe? Don't worry about it yet. What's the number 1 rule in real estate? Make offers, make offers. Remember I said there's 3 steps to this business. It's very simple. Marketing, talk to sellers, and make offers. Those are the only 3 steps you need to worry about. You've got your counties picked out, and you believe that you can do it. You believe that this business works and that it'll work for you. You've got your list of counties. Now you need to pull a list from those counties, okay? And there's a couple different ways I like to pull lists. There's another tool I like to use called Priced. If you go to joemccall.com/priced, you get a special discount with them. It's about $25 a month, but I use Priced a lot. And pretty soon, FreedomSoft, which I use, will have lists for vacant land in FreedomSoft. But that's coming within the next week or 2 weeks as I'm recording this. But Priced, joemccall.com/priced, PRYCD. They have a research tool here. And if you go to the More button, then click Research, I'm just going to show you real quick what I like to do. You go here to Florida. Let's say we're going to look into Florida. And there's 67 counties in Florida. This helps you kind of narrow down your list. And so I'm going to sort by sold comps. And I want sold comps greater than, let's say, 500. So now there's 47 counties. Cool. We can do, sold comps greater than 700. Now there's 39 counties. Let's do another filter for sold to for sale ratio. That means, and let's do 12 months. That means, what is the ratio of sold properties to listed properties? The higher the number, the better, because that means there's more sold properties to listed properties. And I don't know what's a good one to do. Let's say the higher the number, the better, right? So let's do the sold to listed ratio is greater than 3. That's 31 counties. Let's do for 17 counties. All right, let's add another filter here. Let's say the days on market, the fewer the days on market, the better. That means they're selling faster. Let's say days on market is less than 200. Now we have 12 counties. That's good, right? And let's say we want to do another one for population change. So we only want counties that are growing in population. I think probably all of the counties in Florida are growing, but let's do greater than 0. 11 counties left. Now we have 11 counties here. That's a good place to start, isn't it? Think about it. These are all counties that have a lot of sold comps. They have higher sold to listed ratios. They have low days on market, and the population is growing. Now, you could also do, if you wanted to, like once this is here, you can sort this by, you could remove maybe the population per square mile. You don't want like a really, if you want more rural, you might say, show me all of the counties in this list that have a population per square mile less than 500, let's say. Let's just do that real quick. If you wanted to, I'm just saying, less than 500, whatever that means. Okay, now there's 8 counties here. So they're not, these are great counties. Charlotte, Columbia, Flagler, Levy, Marion, Okeechobee, St. John's, and Suwannee. Boom, just like that, I've got 8 great counties that I could start targeting and marketing in Florida. Let me show you one other thing, because we were talking about like infill lots, and I'm going to show you recreational land, bigger land. Let's go back here to kind of start our search all over again in LandWatch. I'm going to click on the orange button. I got the whole country here. And this time I want minimum 5 acres, because I don't want to do little infill lots. I don't want to deal with properties that are in HOAs. I'm looking for which states have the most properties that have sold or are active right now that are larger properties, for, let's say 5 to 50 acres. Texas will probably still be number 1, I'm going to guess. Yeah, so Texas by a long shot. Texas is also the biggest state in the country, next to Alaska. Alaska's the biggest. But here, Florida, California, Georgia, Tennessee. So you can't go wrong in any of these states. These are all great states. I'm going to go down and just check one more time on sold. I'm going to click on solds. And I'm going to click on under. So Texas is leading by a long shot. A lot of activity there. The one drawback with Texas, if you're going to choose that as a state, is it's a non-disclosure state, which means it's really hard to get sold comps, sold data. But that might be a good place to look, right? Let's take a look at Georgia, for example. Which counties in Georgia might be good to target? I'm going to click on Georgia. So let's look at the filters again. Georgia, 5 to 50 acres, available under contract, sold. Bartow County, Carroll County, Bullock, Gilmer, Cherokee, Pickens, Morgan, Jackson. Those are 8 counties right there. You could start with that. Just click on See More to get more of them. Now, Fulton is in here. I don't like Fulton because it's too much in the city. It's like the main county in the middle of Atlanta. But so you want more rural counties that are maybe an hour outside of any major city. Like Bartow County. Let's see where Bartow County is. One of the drawbacks to the rural counties is it's a little harder to get comps, but guess what? There's still, it's not that hard. Bartow County. Let's see what's going on there in Redfin. Bartow County, Georgia. 31, not as many as Florida, but still this is a really good number. And let's remove the up to 100K. That brings us to 49. Okay. So in the last 3 months, 49 vacant lots have sold in Bartow County. That's a good county, right? Another county, let's look at Carroll County, 2 R's, 2 L's. One of the things I like to do here with priced is I'm going to refresh my page and start this research tool over again from scratch. And this time I'm not going to type in a state, but I'm going to do 5 to 20 acres, and I'm going to click Hide Non-Disclosure States. You could also show only non-judicial states. That just means it's easier to foreclose. So now I'm looking at all the entire country, bigger recreational lots, and I'm ignoring non-disclosure states. And so there's 3,000 counties in the United States. So let's do that same thing again. Sold comps greater than, let's do 400. Let's see what happens. 15 counties. So that's maybe a little too much. 200. 73 counties have more than 200 sold comps. All right, let's click on the next thing. Let's do, all right, sold to listed ratio greater than 2. 59. Let's do 3. 38. I'm trying not to filter too many out, right? All right, let's do one more where the population change is greater than 0. So these counties aren't shrinking. 27 counties. All right, let's add maybe days on market is less than, let's say 250. 22 counties, let's say less than 200. 20 counties. All right, so here's a good place to start. Here are, I forget how many I said. Let's do sold comps greater than 250. What do we get now? 12 counties. All right, 12 counties. Look at these states. Aiken County, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Colorado, Castilla County, South Carolina, Florida, Marion County. And there's another page here. We could sort this whole list by sold comps. Oh, look at this. Castilla County. A lot of activity there, isn't it? Low days on market. Oh, you know what? There's month-over-month price change. So you could only go into the counties that have a positive month-over-month price change or not too negative. One of the searches, the filters that I'm going to add to this is a population per square mile because I want more recreational land. So I'm going to say is less than 500. Population per square mile is less than 500. That gives us now 10 counties. We could do, I'm just playing with these filters. I kind of want as many as I can get, so then I can choose. These all have low days on market, a high sold to listed ratio. They have a ton of out of county parcel owners. This is why I want you to pick 10 to 20 counties, because some of these counties, like Spartanburg County, South Carolina, only has 860 out of county owners. That's who we usually target, you know. So these are all great counties here. This is a good place to start. In fact, if you're watching this right now, just screenshot these last 3 pages I just showed you here and start your research there. You can do deals in all of these counties. I forget how many there were, 18. Okay, so, you know, back here, we're looking for larger properties. If we're at Land Watch, let's say you don't have priced. If we just went to Bartow, we can see in Carroll County, there's a lot of activity here. So let's say, and by the way, I like Bartow County because it's an hour away outside of a major city. This is, you know, somebody who lives out in Atlanta, they want a place where they can just go recreate, ride their four-wheelers, go camping, get off the grid. It's going to be an hour, 2 hours outside of the city. This might be one of the places they go. You can buy a lot of good, cheap land here. Smaller lots and bigger lots. 42 acres, 131 acres, 65 acres, 42. See, these are great properties. So now I want to pull a list. I'm going to pull a list because I want to market to some people. There's 2 different places I go to pull lists, PropStream and Priced. Let's first do it in Priced because I was just there. I'm going to go to Price Land. Again, joelmccall.com/priced. And we're going to look up Carroll County here. Carroll County, Georgia. I only want larger land. I don't want the small infill lots because I really want to avoid any properties that are in HOAs. So I'm going to do show me anything above 4 acres to maximum 50 acres, let's say. And we'll do a 1 acre increment. And this is going to give me this is pulling data from DataTree. And so it already has everything checked for me. The only thing I don't want is people who live in the county. So I'm going to say exclude everyone who lives in the county. And I'm going to scroll down and say, all right, show me all of the properties that have sold on or before 5 years ago. And what it's doing now is it's searching Carroll County, who owns vacant land in that county for over 5 years, who does not live in that county. I'm going to guess I get 1,500 out of it. So I didn't get that many. I only had 134. So if I wanted to, I could go back and let's say 3 acres or more. And maybe I don't care if they live in the county or not. I'm just going to include all. They've owned it for over 5 years. Let's see how many we have now. Okay, so maybe I'm doing something wrong. I only have 150. It just might not be a good county with good data, but I think I'm doing something wrong here. I'm not sure what's going on. I'd have to message Priced about it. Let me show you another way. Well, I want to show you what the data looks like in Priced. So let's pick another county here. Let's just say Bullock County, Georgia. We're looking for 3 to 50 acres. Sale date before 5 years ago. While that's opening up, I'm going to show you another place that I like to get my list. It's PropStreamJoe.com. PropStreamJoe.com. Let's look at Carroll County, Georgia. Go to filter, quick list choices, go to vacant land. Property characteristics, you have to give lot size in square feet. So 5 acres, let's do a calculator here so you can see what I'm doing. Each acre is 43,560 square feet, so 43,560 times 5. So 217,800. 2,500 vacant lots bigger than 5 acres. And then I'm going to go here to ownership info. Years of ownership, minimum 5, and include unknown sale dates. Okay, I think this might have been the problem. Because if I include unknown sale dates, there's 1,955 where PropStream only gave me, in Carroll County, only gave me 150. That might be the problem there, because in that county, sometimes they just don't record certain data. It's not available. PropStream allows you to pull a list, and if it doesn't have a sale date, usually that means it was purchased a long time ago before they started tracking those dates for whatever reason. So I have a much bigger size list here. So this is Carroll County. This here from Priced is Bullock County. But the thing I like about Priced, and I usually always get my data from Priced, is they give me a lot of comps. And when I export the list, they give me the GPS coordinates for each property, which is a big deal because it makes it just easier to find. PropStream does not give you comps, and it does not give you GPS coordinates. But anyway, here you can adjust your offer price, and usually I adjust it up to 35%. This tells you what they feel like they think that property might be worth and what you should offer based on this sliding offer adjustment scale. So in Bullock County, Georgia, between 5 to 6 acres, they're selling for about $13,000 an acre, and you should offer about $4,600 an acre. And the cool thing now with this is you can actually get comps. If I click on one of those, I can click right here for sale and sold comps, and it gives me hundreds and hundreds of comps, and it gives me the links to these properties on their various websites, like this one, 5.2 acres on Lands of America. This is a property that was listed here, was marked as sold, 5.2 acres for $20,500. Because with land, it's sometimes harder to get comps. So when you can get it from websites like Priced, it makes it just a whole lot easier. So you can get sold comps and for sale comps, etc. And you can export all of these comps into a spreadsheet. It just makes it easier sometimes to get these properties. Like this one here, Lands of America, sold 5.7 acres, 50 grand. So now let me X out of here. Oh, what is this chart? Yeah, there's a chart. So if I wanted to, I can download this. There's different pricing schemes or algorithms that set your prices. You can download these lists. It costs about 10 cents a record. PropStream, you can download. It's $97 a month, and you can download up to, I think, 10,000 a month. If you use my link, PropStreamJoe.com, they will let you download more than your normal subscription. And there's a 7-day trial or something like that. Now you've got, okay, what you do now? Well, this is where marketing comes in. You've got your list, and you've got, well, first of all, you got 5 or 10 counties, right? Now you're going to get a list. You're going to download that list, and you're going to send marketing to that list. Now, there's different types of marketing I like to do. I prefer direct mail. It's simple, fast, easy, but it's the most expensive. Well, it's not as expensive as PPC, like Google ads or Facebook ads, but it works really, really well. So we send out marketing. And if you want to see my direct mail swipe file, by the way, just go to simplelandkit.com. You can log in there, opt in, and you'll get my direct mail marketing swipe file. Okay, simplelandkit.com. Also, I wanted to let you know, every Saturday I do a workshop where you actually get to watch me go into a brand new market and set up my campaigns and talk to sellers, talk to buyers, make offers. So go to joemccall.com/Saturday. It's a Saturday workshop. I dive deep for like 4 hours, and you actually get to watch me do this in a real market for just $7, okay? joemccall.com/Saturday. So I get this list, and there's a couple things that I do to that list. Number one, I want to get a phone number that's local into that area, and I do that inside of FreedomSoft. Number two, you can skip trace that list and start cold calling them. That's the cheapest way to get leads. It also takes the most work, but if you don't have a lot of money for direct mail, then by 100% do cold calling. It's very simple. And if you're a member of my inner circle, we have cold calling VAs that you can actually hire. Number two is direct mail. We like to send postcards and letters. Let me just show you what one of our postcards looks like. If you go to simplelandkit.com, you'll get some of these letters. Here we go. Postcards, letters to sellers. I have some postcards that I like the best. They're cheap and they work. The postcard has a reference number at the top. It says, hey, I think you own a 1.84 acre property in Marion County in your city, Florida state. If you're interested in selling, I'm interested in buying it. If you would like cash in exchange for your property, please text or call my 24-hour recorded voicemail. So I get a 24-hour recorded voicemail that sellers can either text or call. They call that number or they text that number, this reference ID, and then I send them an offer. Sometimes we call them and talk to them. Sometimes we just send them an offer. And on average, we get 1 out of every 30 offers accepted. 1 out of 30 offers get accepted, okay? So we're going to download this list from either Priced or PropStream. Both Priced and PropStream will also allow you to skip trace the list so you can get the names. Well, with the names and addresses, you can get the phone numbers and the emails. And you can cold call them. You can cold call them from inside of FreedomSoft. That's why I like FreedomSoft so much. I download this list. I will upload it to FreedomSoft. I'll skip trace them and do direct mail to them. Skip trace, cold call, and do direct mail. But you can do that all here also as well inside of PropStream. Then you send out postcards like this, or you do cold calling. Now, if you do cold calling, I have a cold calling script. I'm just going to show that to you real quick. When you're a lot of people like cold calling, well, because number one, it works, but it's very cheap. It's not that expensive, and you're actually kind of in more of control of your own destiny in terms of getting leads. You know, if you're going to get an average, we're averaging 2 or 3 leads an hour with cold calling, okay? And a lead is anybody that says, yeah, I'll sell my property. Go ahead and make an offer. Hey, Jim, my name is Joe. I'm sorry for this call out of the blue. However, I'm calling about, I think, a 4.6 acre lot that you own in Marion County. Or you could even say, this is even better. I like this. Hey, I'm calling about the letter we sent you about your vacant lot in XYZ County. Did you get it? Well, I'm looking to buy some land in the area, and I'm calling to see if you'd thought about selling it. Well, yeah, maybe. Okay, great. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about the property? And bam, this is where you go start asking as many questions as you can. Does it have road access? Are there utilities? Any buildings on it? What's the terrain like? Hey, thanks. Okay, do you have a price in mind? If we can come up with an offer that works for you, how quickly would you be willing to close on this property? I love these questions. It's basically number one when you're talking to sellers, cold calling or returning their call from the letters. It's like, hey, what's your situation? What would you like to see happen? And how quickly would you like to see that happen? Those are simple 3 questions. If you can ask every seller you talk to those 3 questions, you will do deals. Number 1, what would you like to see happen? Of course, after you ask them all the questions about the property. Well, what would you like to see happen? Number 2, how quickly would you like to see that happen? What's your situation? What would you like to see happen? How quickly would you like to see that happen? And there's a lot of questions I like to ask kind of inside of there, like, what if, let me get back to my cold calling script here. If they say, yeah, well, how much? I say, well, we'll run the numbers. Have you ever tried to sell it before? Do you know of any similar lots nearby and what they've sold for? Great. Do you have a price in mind? So we're going to ask 3, 4, 5 different ways if they have thought about a price. If they say no, I say, well, okay, fine. Do you have any other lots that you might like to sell? If they say, yeah, maybe in the future. Okay, great. Do you have a time frame in mind about, do you know when? They're going to say a lot of times, well, who are you? You're going to say, I'm a real estate investor looking to buy more land in the area. We buy them fast. You don't need to pay any commissions or closing costs. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? How'd you get my number? We found it on the internet. That's all you have to say. Would you consider selling your property? Very simple script. Okay. Now, when they call, we leave our outbound voice message is very simple. It basically says, like, when we get a phone number in FreedomSoft, we say, hey, thanks for calling. You must have gotten one of our postcards about a vacant lot you're trying to sell. Please leave us your reference number at the top of the letter or the postcard, and we will call you back with an offer as soon as possible. That's all you have to say. They leave a voicemail or they text us the reference number. And then when we call them back, we're just going to ask a bunch of questions. That's all we're doing here is we're asking a bunch of questions. And I have in this, in my program, it's simplelandkit.com. And if you want to go and check out my Saturday workshop, you actually hear me talking to sellers live, joemccall.com/Saturday. This is a script that I kind of use, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Hey, I was returning your call about that vacant lot. This is why I like direct mail better than cold calling in a lot of ways, is because the positioning is completely different. They're calling me first. I'm calling them back. Sounds like I caught you in the middle of something. I always set the agenda. First, I'm looking to buy some land in the area. Do you mind if I ask you some questions to see if this would be something I'd be interested in? That's it. Yeah, okay, you can ask some questions. Cool. Well, let me just tell you how this kind of works. After our call, I'm going to do some research and send you an offer. Is that okay? Cool. So after I send you an offer, one of two things will happen. You'll like my offer and we'll close right away. Or two, you don't like my offer. You can just tell me no, and that's totally okay. I don't want to waste your time. So is that all right? Cool. And sometimes I'll say this. This isn't a word-for-word script. These are just for like ideas. Sometimes I'll say, hey, listen, if I can't buy your property, I'll give you the names and numbers of a couple, 3 realtors that can list your property and get you more money. Is that okay? All right. Get their information, ask to confirm some information. I might know that the property has road access, but I'm still going to ask anyway, right? Because sometimes the maps are not wrong or not right, but sometimes there is no access, and I want the seller to tell me that there's no access. I know it might be super hilly, but I want the seller to tell me that no, you can't build on it. It's very sloped. I may know it's in a wetland or a flood zone, but I want the seller to tell me that. So this is why I ask all the questions. HOAs are important. You want to know that, right? Are the taxes current? Are you the owner? Is it listed with the realtor? Have you gotten any other offers? Why didn't you accept those offers? Do you have any other lots you're looking to sell? Is there anything else I need to know? All right, so now we get into the questions to determine motivation. Hey, sounds like a nice property. Why would you even want to sell it? What would you like to see happen to the property? When would you like to see that happen? You're not in a hurry to sell it, are you? When were you hoping to be able to sell it? There's different ways you can ask that. Is this a now thing or a later thing for you? I like this question a lot. What's more important to you, to sell it quickly or to sell it for the highest price possible? Another one of my favorite questions is, why don't you just list it with a realtor? They'll get you the highest price, because sometimes they'll tell me they want a certain number. And I'll say, listen, if a couple things. If they won't tell me their number, I'll say, if you just want me to give you a number, I'm probably not your guy. I'm willing to walk away. If they say they want a number too high, I usually always say, that's probably not going to work for me. Have you just thought about, why don't you list it with a realtor? They can get you that price that you want. I'm never begging them for their business. I'm never begging them for the sale, right? I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to get them to sell me on their property. And write this down. This is important. You are the reluctant buyer. You want to remember that when you're negotiating with sellers. You're the reluctant buyer. You want to get them to convince you why you should spend your money on them and buy their property. This makes everything so much easier. And you notice as I'm going through this, I'm just giving you a ton of questions. These calls shouldn't be longer than 3 to 5 minutes. And the seller should be doing 90% of the talking, and you should be doing 10% of the talking and 90% of the listening. And you should be asking questions. That's all you should be doing, asking questions. This is like Sales 101. You could read 5 books if you want, and they'll probably teach you all these tips and tricks. But that really kind of what it all boils down to in my mind. Just ask a lot of questions and listen. That's it. I don't need to convince them for anything. And I always agree with the seller. I say, your price is ridiculous. You're absolutely right. It is. Why don't you list it with an agent? They can get you more. Your offer is ridiculous. I've gotten 5 other offers higher. Great. That's awesome. Good for you. Why haven't you accepted any of them? Whatever, right? Like when I'm calling realtors and talking about the property, it's been listed for 6 months. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a nice property. It's beautiful. Why hasn't it sold yet? Is something wrong with it? I'm asking questions over and over and over again, just asking a lot of questions. That's all it takes when you're talking to sellers and your sales. It's important to talk to as many sellers as you can. And one of my favorite rules is the rule of 5. Talk to 5 sellers a day. And if you want to do deals, if you're really hungry, if you really want it bad, just talk to 5 people a day. And my rule number 2 is make an offer to every seller you talk to. And maybe it's not a seller, maybe it's a realtor. And if it's a houses, maybe it's vacant. If it's houses, maybe you're talking to property managers. But talk to 5 people a day and make an offer to everybody that you talk to. Whether you can send it in the mail, send it in an email, by text or whatever. And then the other rule number 3, follow up every 30 days with every offer that you send. And you will do deals. That's the formula of success. I should call it something tricky or trendy or something. 5, 5, 30. How about that? 5, talk to 5 people a day, make 5 offers a day, follow up every 30 days, and you will do deals. It's as simple as that. Cool. So back to the script, some other questions I like to ask. What do you think the property's worth? How'd you arrive at that number? Do you think that's a fair price for this crazy market? What are you going to do if you can't sell the property? I know you got the offer for 50. You should just accept it. But when you get that offer and you can't sell it, then what are you going to do? If they won't give me a number, I say, listen, if you can't give me a number, I'm probably not your guy. And if you want, I can give you 5 realtors who can help you sell your property. You just want me to send you their names and numbers. This isn't push. This is like, you're not pushing them. You're pulling them to you. I'm going for no. I want them to tell me no. If I can pay cash and close quickly, well, Joe, I can't pay for cash. I can't buy these deals for cash. I'd be lying. No, you can use my cash. If you're one of my students, you can use my cash to buy these deals, and we can partner on these deals. So if I can pay cash and close in 30 days, well, Joe, I thought you said your contract says 90 days. You can close in 30 days if you want, especially if you have the money and you're partnering with somebody who has the money, like this guy here. You can close in 30 days with cash, and we'll partner on the deal and we'll split the deal. Again, if they won't tell you the number, I say, I don't know if I can help you then. Maybe when you figure out what you want for the property, you can call me back. When they give you a number, you say, oh man, geez, I don't know. Is that the best you can do? All right. Well, you say you want 25 for it. That might work for me. I don't know, but I'm going to do some due diligence on the property. And if I find some other properties that are cheaper, are you negotiable on your price? Or you're not negotiable on your price, are you? Super simple. Now, remember the steps, okay? Find the counties, get 5 or 10 of them. Pull a list, send them marketing. And the 2 types of marketing you can do: postcards, cheap, simple; cold calling. If you don't have the money for direct mail, just do cold calling. Pull the list, skip trace it, call them. I recommend using FreedomSoft for your cold calling. It's simple, fast, easy, and just now you have an all-in-one solution. All right, send them marketing. Then when they respond to your marketing or they raise their hand, say, yeah, I want to sell, you talk to them. Get them on the phone and talk to them. What if you don't even have money for cold calling and skip tracing, and you don't have money for direct mail? What can you do? Let me show you a little trick here that I think might work for some of you. It's going to be a little more involved, but let's just go to homes.com. We want to call realtors. We're going to call agents who have listed property that has been on the market for a long time. Now, one of these counties we were looking at before was Carroll County, right? Carroll County, Georgia. There's 894 properties on homes.com. I'll show you why I like homes.com better than Redfin or Zillow, is because they give you the names and phone numbers and emails of these realtors. So we're going to go to filters here. We want land only. Boom, land. Now there's 195. We're going to scroll down and we're going to say, all right, show me all of the vacant land. There's 2 things we have here: price reductions and days on market. So I might say, show me all the vacant land that's had a price reduction in the last 30 days. All right, here's 10 of them. And you just click on one of them, scroll down, and there is the agent's phone number. And sometimes their email address is here. Call that agent up. Jim, how you doing? My name is Joe. I'm interested in buying some land in the area. Can you tell me about this property at 2460 Oak Grove Church? Now, there's a whole script that I go through with this when I'm calling realtors. Basically, I'm saying, hey, can you tell me about the property? I don't have an agent representing me. You can, if you represent me, if you submit the offer for me, you can get both sides of the commission. And by the way, if this doesn't work, do you have any other property? So I'm calling this agent up and asking them, why hasn't this sold yet? Why did they drop the price? How negotiable is the seller on their price? If I can't get them 170 grand, but I can get something closer, maybe would they consider seller financing, accepting payments over time? Now, this one is probably not that motivated because it's only been on the market 9 days, right? Well, you could also go in here and you could say, scroll down. I'm going to do any price reduction. And days on market, let's do more than 3 months. So this is vacant land that has now been on the market over 3 months. There's 96 properties. What if we did over 6 months? There's 62. 62 vacant lots that have been on the market over 6 months. Why haven't these properties sold yet? Well, they're just asking too much. Now, you don't want to go into the big expensive properties here, so let's do price maximum, let's say $250,000. Now there's 37 properties. Hold on one second. Hey, Victoria. Yeah. Can you bring me something to drink, please? Yeah. Okay, so now we're looking at properties under 250 grand that have been on the market longer than, all the way down here, longer than 6 months. There's 37 properties in just this one county, right? And so what I like to do is click on this. This is a great looking property. I don't know if it's agricultural property, if it's in a subdivision, but it's 3.25 acres. So yeah, it probably isn't an HOA. I'm just not big on HOA, so I might exclude this one. One thing you could do if you wanted is you could do lot size minimum 5 acres. So now you eliminate a lot of the HOAs. Maybe 4 acres. Now there's 11. This is going to be more unrestricted land. You could also, from here, you could also just clear the border. So now you see this whole area. This is all unrestricted vacant land that hasn't sold yet. If you click on this first one here, this one's been on the market for 183 days. They're asking $8,200 an acre. So, and it's a bunch of lots here. They're probably just asking too much for the property. So you want to find out from the realtor, how negotiable are they with their price? Would they accept something any less, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. The other thing is, again, I'm talking to Pete. I'm saying, hey, Pete, if you can, maybe you can represent me. You get both sides of the commission. You can do what's called double dip the commissions. So you call this realtor up. Now the chances of this seller accepting my offer, I'd probably need to buy it for like 100. Chances are very slim, but you just never know. If you can't afford any marketing, call realtors. If you have to call 100 realtors, then do it. You'll probably get one deal. All right. Now, here's the cool thing about this too. I don't necessarily care about this property as much as I care about establishing a relationship with Pete Ewing, the realtor right here. I'm just going to say, hey, Pete, listen, I buy a lot of land in the area. If you ever find an off-market property, will you please let me know, and I'll let you represent me, and I'll buy it. I want to build, the whole goal of this is to build a list of referrals from agents that do a lot of real estate in the area. And again, I'm only in the hot markets, the area where there's a lot of activity. And hey, Pete, listen, if you ever find a vacant landowner that just wants to get rid of their property, they don't want to deal with the hassle of listing it and all of that. If you send it to me, I'll pay you 10% commissions. I'll pay you 8% commissions, okay? And I'll let you represent me if you find anything. And if this seller ever changes their mind or ever tells you, yeah, you know what, I'm willing to drop this price, please call me, Tammy. I'll let you represent me. You get both sides of the commission. I'm looking for good deals in this area, okay? Now, occasionally, the seller will be willing to accept your lowball offer. And by the way, I always get this question, well, who writes the contracts? Do you have to use a realtor's contracts? Yeah, you have to use a realtor's contracts. And I don't care. I just tell Tammy, hey, if I buy this thing, I'm going to turn around and sell it with owner financing typically. But I'm going to need to sell it for probably like $70,000, which means I'm going to have to buy it for like $30,000. So this is probably going to be totally ridiculous, you know. But you know what? Don't even have to write up a contract. Just maybe email them an offer or text them or something. And they're probably going to say no. You can just tell them I'm some stupid investor or whatever. But listen, you never know. And if anything, you send them my offer and it'll get them to think about maybe lowering their price, because there's a reason why this property has been sitting on the market for 202 days. It's just probably they're asking too much. Okay, so, or something's wrong with it. Maybe there's some stuff going on with the Department of Transportation. I don't know. But there is a price that this property would sell for. All right, so then my goal is to start building a list of realtors, names and phone numbers. And then guess what I'm going to do? This is so powerful. This is why this strategy is so incredibly powerful. I'm going to be asking them every month. I'm going to email, text, voicemail drop, call them. And I'm going to say, hey, Tammy, Joe here. You probably don't remember me. We talked a little while ago about some vacant land you were trying to sell. Just letting you know, I'm an investor and I'm looking for deals. Do you have any off-market vacant land that I could make an offer on? I'll pay generous 10% commissions or something like that. There's guys I know right now in this business, investors that are just getting started. They don't have a ton of marketing, and they have taken what I've told them, I'm telling you here, to heart, and they actually do it. And all they do for all their marketing, this will blow you away. They just call realtors and home buyers. Those investors that do the We Buy Houses ads and stuff like that, home investors, all the investors that do the PPC ads, that's all they do all day. They call and follow up with realtors and home buyers and say, hey, if you find any off-market vacant land, send them to me. I'll pay you a nice referral fee. If it's a wholesaler, you can tell them I'll split the profits with you or whatever. And you just start building that database, okay? Once a week, a couple times a month, send a text, an email, a voicemail drop. Hey, this is Joe. Don't forget, I'm looking for vacant land. I'm telling you. It's called the flap your lips method, and it works. It works really, really well. But this is a way now you can find sellers without spending any money on marketing, is go find on-market properties, call the realtors up, talk to them, ask them if their client is negotiable on their price, find out why it hasn't sold yet, ask them, do you have any other off-market properties that I can make an offer on? I pay 10% commissions. Tell them what you do. I'm a wholesaler. I buy land, I flip it. Sometimes I sell it with seller financing for the monthly cash flow. It just depends on the deal. But I am looking for deals. If you find anything, let me know. Now, you're going to probably need somebody to help you and partner with you on these deals, right? Some of these properties are selling for, like this one right here, they're selling for 65 grand. Where are you going to get the money? Now, your offer might be 30 grand. Where are you going to get the 30 grand to buy this property? Partner with me. Bring your deals to me. Now, I only partner with students on deals. If you want more information about what I do and how I do it, I do a class every Saturday. It's $7. Go to joemccall.com/Saturday. And in that special class, I'm going to go into a brand new market. I'm going to show you how I set everything up. And you're going to actually watch me do the cold calling, pull the lists, do the skip tracing, cold calling, send the direct mail, and actually make offers. So it's a $7 class I do at joemccall.com/Saturday. Check that out. And if you want to get my kit that I've been talking about, where I give you some of the resources, go to simplelandkit.com and check that out. If you're watching this on YouTube, I really appreciate it. If you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what you thought of this. Now that you have pulled the list, you've picked the counties, pulled the list, number 2. Number 3, sent the marketing out. Okay, I talked about 3 different types of marketing: cold calling, direct mail, and calling realtors. Now you got to talk to sellers. You talk to them. Now what do? You're going to send offers. If you go to Simple Land Kit, I have a software in there that helps you come up with offers as well. And then the next step after you make an offer is you send a contract. You get the contract signed, then you do your due diligence, and you decide whether you really want to buy this property or not. You send the paperwork to a title company. Then you market for a buyer. When you find somebody who wants to buy your property, either with seller financing or for cash, we use title companies. We close, we sell, we flip it with title companies. When you need money, there's 3 sources of money, really. We use sometimes transactional funding for one-day close. And if you're a member of my inner circle, if you're one of my students, you get free transactional funding for your deals. We don't charge any money for that. If you need money for just one day to close on the A to B, sell it on the B to C, okay? We also partner and lend money on deals as a JV partner. So if you want us to partner with you on your deals, it has to be a good deal. We'll provide the money. We'll close in 30 days. We'll help you sell the deal, and we'll split the profits 50-50. If you're interested, you have to be a student to do that. You can also find private investors to fund the deal, and then you can also do seller financing. You can offer seller financing to the seller. So give them a cash offer and a little bit higher offer with seller financing. Then you've got to find buyers, and that's so simple and easy. We use realtors all the time to find our buyers for us. We also are very proactive when we get a deal under contract in a certain market. We are aggressively calling realtors. We're calling other land investors and sending them letters to get them to call us about our vacant land. And that's how we do it. Okay? Appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.